What is going on, guys? Welcome to today's YouTube video. This is the first video in a few weeks since I was on holiday. I've been in Cape Town and also in Botswana for almost 3 weeks. So that is why I haven't been uploading any YouTube videos. I definitely missed making some YouTube videos. So from this week, we are going to continue with our regular schedule, which means a video on Monday, Wednesday, and on Friday. In today's video, we are going to discuss the current state of Bitcoin and the current state of Ethereum. I want to talk about multiple trade ideas that I'm currently eyeing up on both of them. So let's dive straight into it. First of all, we are going to start off with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has been making a significant push towards the upside when I was in Africa. We can see that the range that Bitcoin has been trading in for a pretty long time, which is the range over here, has been broken towards the upside. And it has been broken towards the upside with a lot of momentum, and that is definitely a sign of strength for Bitcoin. So if we go to the weekly time frame, we get a much clearer view in which we can see that we have our range highs over here, range lows over here, we have the deviation over here from that range, and this is definitely a strong breakout candle in which the next weekly candle also opened and closed above the previous range high. So what we can do is we can mark out the previous resistance area, which is over here, as a range high, which will be a pivotal area for sure. On a daily time frame, we can also see that around that range high was also where we got our last piece of consolidation, which was the origin for that second impulse towards the upside. So our first origin was over here for this impulse. We got a hiccup once again around that range high, got a liquidity sweep in which a lot of people after this gravestone doji thought that we were going to go towards the downside. Instead, we got a little bit of consolidation and we got that strong breakout towards the upside. Right now we can see that Bitcoin is also consolidating, which means that potentially we can be waiting for a pullback before continuing our way towards the upside. So we've detected our first key area of support for Bitcoin. We have our swing low over here and our swing high over here. So what we can do is we can go from swing low to swing high, and what can we see? We can see that the 0.382 Fibonacci level of retracement for the Bitcoin price is exactly at our previous range high. So over here you can also see beautiful resistance perfectly aligning with that 0.382 Fib level. Our 0.5 Fib level is aligning beautifully with our daily order block over here. So if we remove the range high and we mark out this daily OB over here, like this, very interesting, right? What makes this daily order book even more interesting is that if we go onto the weekly time frame, and we can see that we had a weekly level of resistance over here and a weekly level of resistance over here at the exact same price. If we are going to mark out that key level, we can see that the weekly level of resistance is exactly aligning with the bottom of the daily order block over here, to the cent accuracy almost, which is very interesting, right? So this area over here, in between the 0.382, in between the 0.5, and then especially this daily order block and the bottom of the daily order block over here are key areas of support. The beauty of that is that it is exactly aligning with the previous range high. Big resistance over here, deviation, went back down, consolidation around the range high, and we got the breakout. So a lot of confluences lining up around that range high in between 25.2k and 24.2k. Okay, so definitely very interesting. On the monthly time frame, we also have a very nice monthly key level at the exact same area. So if we remove these levels, we can see that we have our July high over here, right? If I now switch back on all of our levels and we go to the 4-hourly time frame, what can we see? If I remove the rectangle for a second, we can see that our July high is exactly aligning with the top of the daily order book. So if I go on the daily time frame, remove the brush, we can see July high over here, switch it off, and then I can remove the top of the daily order block, switch on the July high, and you can see it is perfectly aligning with the top of the daily order block over here. So a lot of confluences lining up over here, which makes it definitely a very, very pivotal area for Bitcoin. And if I were to wait to look for any long positions on Bitcoin, I want us to take out the equal lows that we put in over here. So on a 4-hourly time frame, we get a much better view. We have those equal lows, right? So let's remove the 0.236 fib level for a second. We have those equal lows. We have some kind of a diamond pattern, which is a potential reversal pattern towards the downside. We have a lot of liquidity buildup. We have an hour 4 fair value gap over here. This is where we had a nice sweep of the low, right? So over here, we got that sweep of the low, which resulted in a bounce with a lot of momentum. So that is also the piece of price action that we don't want to lose. So this makes it a very nice invalidation area for the Bitcoin price. We have that key area of resistance over here in between $25,320 and $24,200. So definitely a very nice area to look for a potential PO3, in which we have our accumulation range over here, which builds up a lot of liquidity below. We get our manipulation range over here. And then once we reclaim, we get an expansion part over here. So that is the PO3 pattern that a lot of people always talk about. And I can already see a potential PO3 pattern being developed on the Bitcoin price. Still though, we might get another sweep of the high before we see some more downside. This area over here is definitely an area where I want to look for shorts. Do I want to put limit orders here? No. What do I want to see? I want us to see a push in towards the liquidity area, in which a lot of breakout traders will start longing the breakout. And that is exactly what the market makers want. Because if retail traders are buying, it means that market makers are getting their orders in so that they can sell their bigger positions, because they need a lot of people buying so that they can sell. They will start selling, they will start shorting, which takes a little bit of time, in which I want to see a push into the liquidity area, first rejection. Don't short the first rejection. You want to wait for a sweep of the first high that we put in, break of structure with momentum, and then you want to short on the lower high towards the downside. Okay, that is definitely a potential scenario that I'm currently watching for the Bitcoin price to look for potential shorts. Long position is very clear. This area over here is where I want to start building a swing long position for the Bitcoin price. Let's continue with Ethereum, because last Sunday, which was yesterday, I was posting this trade idea on Twitter. So if I go to my Twitter page, we can see that if I go to my profile over here, you can see first I posted it over here. So I was already telling you guys, big resistance coming in for the Ethereum price. If I see these confirmations over here, I'm willing to short, as you can see. Then we saw the right confirmation. So we got a sweep of the first high, as you can see. So if I return back to the chart, sweep of the first high, which resulted in a break of structure with momentum after we got that liquidity grab. And then after that break of structure with momentum, you start looking for the right confluences to look for a short on the lower high. In this case, we had our golden Fibonacci ratio for this move towards the downside, which was perfectly lining up with our weekly open for the Ethereum price. So it was a perfect short opportunity. My system told me to short. But there was a different part of my system that was telling me not to short, which was the weekly close that was coming up. Okay, so around the weekly close, you often get a lot of scam moves, which why I was very, very careful and I didn't open any new position as I always do around the weekly close. Okay, but this is a perfect example of what I was also explaining over here. Sweep of the first high, break of structure with momentum, find the confluences and short on a lower high, which was exactly what I was looking for on the Ethereum price, which played out beautifully, but unfortunately, because of my system, I couldn't take the short. You can see the reaction of the level. Beautiful trade it would have been already. Okay, some people still took it, I believe. Also in a free Discord, I shared this trade idea, but we move on to new trade ideas. So I'm going to remove this. I'm going to put this into a small little map over here, and we are going to get a clean chart for Ethereum. because Ethereum is looking quite interesting, guys. We can see that Ethereum broke above key level over here, right? Nice breakout, consolidation above. It also broke above the range highs over here and is currently trying to hold on to it as support. But we can also see that even though it broke above these key levels, we got a major liquidity sweep of the highs over here, which is when we tapped into the daily order block over here. So we can see that basically, right, Ethereum is into no man's land right now, which means that I don't want to be looking for any positions until we get a clear direction. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to mark out key levels on my chart, key areas on my chart, where I'm going to be potentially interested in a short position or a long position if I get the right confirmations. So what can we see? We can see that we have our sell side liquidity on the daily time frame over here. We can see that we have our buy side liquidity on the daily time frame over here, right? Two key areas. Let's narrow down the time frame, 12-hourly time frame. We can see 12-hourly sales liquidity over here. Okay, we can see some sales liquidity over here, in which we have this fair value gap over here on the 12-hourly time frame, right? Let's narrow it down even more. All right, so this is definitely interesting because we also have this order block over here. So we have our sell side liquidity over here, imbalance over here, with below that imbalance a strong demand area, strong order block, in which we can also see in the past at this daily order block, 4-hourly order block, we have had massive resistance for the Ethereum price, massive resistance and big support, support. As you can see over here, massive resistance for the Ethereum price. So a key area based on previous price action, key area based on liquidity, key area based on a nice little order block over here. We can even switch on our fixed volume profile, and we can see around the exact same areas also where our biggest volume cluster is starting for the Ethereum price. So definitely key area to hold on to, definitely key area to look for potential long positions, potentially. Let's remove the fixed volume profile and let's go from swing low over here to swing high. Let's switch on our Fibonacci retracement levels, and what can we see? We can see that we have our 0.382 fib level at the exact same area. We can maybe even take this swing low to this swing high. Nothing too interesting except for the 0.786 fib level, but that is not one of the most important Fibonacci levels of retracement. But definitely our first area of support. Do I blindly want to look for shorts, for longs there and put limit orders? No. What I want to see is I want to see a push into that support area. Probably I would prefer an aggressive push. I want to see it hold as support with a small bounce. I want to see a sweep of that first bounce in which we sweep the early longs, get that break of structure over here with momentum, and then on the higher low play, we can start looking for those long positions, okay? That is the first area where I'm putting my alerts for Ethereum. Why do I not want to put any longs there, long limit orders? Because below we have a key area. And over here, I will explain to you guys why. So first, let's put this into a map over here and let's remove it. If we go from swing low to swing high, and we switch on our premium and discount, we can see that our discount is exactly below this sell side liquidity over here, below that low over there. So, which means that breakout traders, as soon as we break through this low, will start shorting. But they will start shorting exactly when the price enters the discount. We have a lot of stops resting inside of this discount, which means we always want to be looking to look for swing longs inside of the discount and swing shorts inside of the premium. What means that if we enter this discount, that is where I'm going to be interested in opening swing long positions. Once again, we go from swing low to swing high and we switch on our Fibonacci retracement levels. We can see that we don't have any proper Fibonacci confluence, right? But what we can see is that our previous range high was over here. And we have this hour 4 order block. Both of them exactly aligning with the sell side liquidity below this wick and with our discount over here, which means that I'm going to be waiting for a sweep of the wick over here, sweep of the sell side liquidity. Once again, wait for the exact same confirmations. We wait for a sweep of that liquidity, a bounce, a sweep, a break of structure, and a higher low before we can enter that long position. Second potential swing long scenario on Ethereum. Now we have one more interesting area, because if we go from swing low to swing high and we switch on our golden pocket, we can see that our golden pocket is perfectly aligning with our sell side liquidity over here. So we have three massive areas of sell side liquidity. With the first lows over here, right? Second one was over here, and now our third one is over here. With below the third one, the most important Fibonacci area of support, the golden Fibonacci ratio. And that is not it. On top of that, we have our hour 4 breaker block over here. As you can see, we got a break of structure of the breaker block with a lot of momentum, which means that we also have some massive unfilled imbalance over here. We can see over here it was huge support for the Ethereum price, big resistance, big support, as you can see multiple times, big support once again. Also based on previous price action, a critical area to hold on to for the Ethereum price. If we switch on our phase range volume profile, we can also see that the value area low exactly lining up with that breaker block, with that golden Fibonacci ratio, and with that liquidity area slash imbalance. Probably our most interesting area to look for potential longs, because Ethereum, if it wants to start a new impulse towards the upside, we got our sweep of liquidity over here, our break of structure over here. Let's say this is our first wave towards the upside, first Elliott wave. Then we know that our second wave should retrace back at least towards the golden pocket before starting the third, fourth, and fifth wave towards the upside, which is another nice confluence. So this area might be an area where you can put some limit orders with our invalidation, probably below this low over here or this low over here, and target probably $2,000 for Ethereum. Do you guys understand? Very detailed update, multiple areas for potential long positions on both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Wait for the right confirmations, wait for the liquidity sweeps, wait for the tap into the support, the sweep of the second of the first bounce, wait for the break of structure with momentum, and we can enter on the higher low or on the lower high if we get the right amount of confluences. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any questions after this detailed update, let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to smash up the like button, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, make sure to join our free Discord, and make sure to follow me on Twitter, and I'll speak to you guys on Wednesday's video. Ciao, ciao.